What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the vlog. If you can't already tell, I upgraded your scenery today. Look at this beautiful interior we have here compared to that Duramax Josh has. You know, we have all different opinions, but he's got a love affair with Chevy that I don't really seem to comprehend 100%. But luckily for me, he won't see this till after the video's uploaded. Anyways, back to business. Project Blueberry. I got her hooked up back here. She's strapped down. We're ready to go. We're actually going to jump ahead in the build a little bit further than we wanted to, and out of order a bit, you can say. Our plan was to build the entire motor before we brought this over and had it in the way. But being that we're waiting on parts, piston rings and all that, we had an issue. Total Seals catalog is a disaster. So we reached out to Diamond, gave them the specs on the piston, and they went ahead and they took care of all the ordering process for us on the rings. But we're waiting for those to get here. In the meantime, we got axles, we got suspension work, we got a bunch of stuff we need to do. We can start prepping this bad boy to pull the motor out of it and all that stuff. And so we're gonna go ahead and make this drive across town, and I'll check back in with you guys when we get to the shop.
All right, so we're here at the warehouse. Danny got Project Blueberry over here to the shop. So while we're waiting on piston rings from Total Seal, like we said, you know, we had our failures with trying to assemble a short block the other day. Basically, what ended up happening is I called Diamond and we had the correct top ring, secondary ring, but we did not have the correct oil control rings. The control rings were supposed to be, well, the expander itself is the incorrect part. The piston is set up for a 2.8 millimeter. What was provided to us was a 3.0 millimeter. While we're waiting on that stuff, we got Project Blueberry lined up over here. Let's get this thing on the lift and show you what we're working on today.
And hold on, before he signs off, if you haven't already noticed in the background, we have our resident clown with us today.
It's been a while.
It's been a minute since y'all seen her.
And don't say hi, Mom, please.
Alright, I will say this. I got
Brace yourselves, guys, don't forget.
24 hours of no sleep, and I've been looking up there for the past 5 minutes, and that spot looks like a prime location for Brenda's hood. I don't know about you boys. Show them the spot. Brenda.
Oh, okay.
24 hours, no sleep. Come on now. Right there.
He was playing Candy Crush all night.
Right there.
Are you gonna dust it off? I was gonna give you $1 if you landed.
Guys, he's still stuck on Brenda because I think that's the last time he was on video, but anyways, like Josh said, we're gonna get this sucker off the trailer and we'll check back in with you guys in a few minutes.
All right, so you guys ready to see the fastest this car's moved in about a year and a half? Make sure it has brakes.
Let me make sure the ramps are lined up. I stopped.
This one needs to come out a little bit. Hey, careful my fender, please. This one needs to come out a hair. Yeah, more than enough. Kick it in a little bit. All right. This one's good.
Okay, stop.
Stop! I thought you unhooked it.
No!
Why didn't you?
I was getting ready to.
You should unhooked it back there.
I thought I was unhooked.
Well, all right. You need to go grab a battery so we can ravel it in. Luckily, we're in the right place.
That's why I'm yelling stop.
Hey, can we talk about the trailer for a minute?
We could.
This has been the most useful trailer
I like
I
it.
think we've ever had.
She ugly, but we keep her clean though.
Guess what? That's the bad battery from his wife's car.
Yeah, you're actually gonna have to work.
Remember how we did those Fiat tires?
I wouldn't do that.
Anyhow.
All right. we really need to finish up the whole trailer project. Been neglected. Just has some cables hanging out here that we have to manually attach a battery to every single time. But
guys, this is by far the world's most expensive wood top trailer.
it's got about $300 worth of E-track on it.
Just in hardware alone.
No, the hardware's not that bad.
We gotta retouch up the Herculiner on the fenders.
Yeah, it's a little bland.
Yeah.
Might put some clear coat on it this time.
Yeah, she a little like Merple.
Anyway, we're gonna get that raveled up and go ahead and get this thing on the lift.
Help Robbie, he can't find a battery.
So, while these guys are doing all the hard work, I went ahead and picked up the camera so I didn't have to push.
Look at all this horsepower.
Oh yeah. How many horsepower is this?
1. I wish I had a horsepower.
Nobody's directing him. He's not doing half bad. I'm not gonna give him that one.
The voices in his head tell him what to do.
Hey, not bad, Robbie.
You found it.
Yeah, Robbie found it the other day. Cut it this way. Cut it. Great. I think it's got to come over to the...
That's pretty good for the first attempt, I'll tell you that.
Not bad for Robbie. Yeah. Anyway, this is our first look at the 2.4 Ecotec in here. Like we said, it has a ZZP turbo kit on it. 56mm bullseye. So, not terrible. We're definitely going to try and clean everything up a bit with that freshly painted block. Let's get this thing lined up. So, along with doing all the engine work for Domingo, we're going to go ahead and take care of some suspension stuff for him. The Cobalt probably has quite literally the easiest suspension I've ever worked on before. The rear is a solid torsion beam. So essentially, we need to pull 2 bolts out of each side, let the axle drop down, install the new shocks, it goes right back up. Super simple. The front is more difficult, but really not that bad. It's a McPherson style strut. So the 3 top nuts, 2 nuts on the knuckle on the bottom, the sway bar end link, any speed sensor clips or anything that go on there. And then we're gonna have to go ahead and press a spring, get that off of there, and put the spring on the new strut. So I'm gonna show you now what Danny's working on back here. Robbie, can you get the jack? We just need to support the axle when we loosen those bolts. It's literally just those 2 bolts, pull it off, put the new axle on. That's it.
Okay. What axle?
That's considered a rear axle.
That's considered an axle?
Yes. The entire assembly is considered an axle. If you want to get real technical, it's called a torsion beam.
That's what I know it as.
But yeah, it's an axle. What size is that? Same thing? I think one's bigger than the other, right?
These?
Yeah.
No, they're about the same.
They're the same?
That's 21 and this is a 21 and this is probably like an 18.
Alright, just bring the whole thing over here, Robert. You want to break the clip or just let it keep rolling?
OSHA. Hey OSHA, eat your heart out. Get some of this. You getting this?
These things do strip very easily, just letting you know from prior experience. You need an extension on that one to get the right angle?
Yes.
Look at this, I'm even giving you actual impact extension.
I didn't even know we owned these.
Yeah, this is the expensive stuff from Harbor Freight.
I got that.
You gotta wait for the parking lot sale to get the coupon. We have a lift, but I seem to like to work on the floor.
Well, what is that thing called, by the way? That spinning thing? You know the name of it. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh!
Spinny thing. Hey, that's the yin yang spinning thing. What is that?
The skeleton!
There you go.
We need to buy a skeleton! Oh my God, Josh!
I thought we had enough with him.
You gotta be that extra? You need sleep, sir.
No.
She is so dramatic
No.
sometimes. Here, get this and let me work.
We need to get footage of when we work on trucks on this lift, and then you'll see why I'm a little excited about
The bottom one is the one that strips out way easier.
What's your lift rated for?
No, that should go at the top.
What's your lift rated for, Josh?
A lot.
Quite a bit. Hey Danny, what's the torque spec on this?
Good and tight.
German torque?
German torque.
I really hope Milwaukee sees this one day. I don't know what they're gonna sponsor us with, because like between me and you, I think we have everything. But
We need a toolbox. We can use a Milwaukee toolbox.
yeah. All right, so that's the new strut on this side. We're gonna go ahead and repeat the process for the other side, and we'll check back in once we have the next process doing the fronts.
All right, guys, now as we make our way up front, we got Josh over here assuming the position. And we're gonna go ahead and show you guys a little bit of what he's doing and what needs to be done.
Can you tell I worked on cobalts before?
A little bit. All right, so those are the bolts for the spindle. They are splined,
Yeah, you gotta top them out.
so we're gonna thread the nut back on a little bit. He's gonna go ahead and give it some love with the baby sleds.
Before you work on any rust bucket, lube it up with anything.
Who's gonna say
Anything.
This car is surprisingly rusty for being a Florida car. Maybe I just didn't have my cobalt long enough to like really notice it.
You had it for like 8 years.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Maybe did I treat it like to a higher level?
No, you did not.
No, Josh beat it like a redheaded
I
stepchild.
saw duct tape on it at one point.
There was no duct tape on it.
He beat the snot out of that car.
I don't know, it was gray and gray duct tape. I don't know, bro. It's a tough one to call.
Dude, I love McPherson struts.
We did go ahead and bathe everything in PB Blaster. That's what Robbie's here for today. He's the lube guy.
You know, I mean, what else can you do with like no sleep? Not much.
Candy Crush level 4,000. Gonna go ahead and loosen both the strut up top. The nuts for the studs, I should say.
And there she goes.
And she is completely free.
That was real time, no editing, by the way.
That's real time, no editing other than just pulling the wheel off before and hitting it with some PB
It's almost
Blaster.
like I've done this before.
So,
All right, now find the spring compressor.
well, that's what we have Robbie for. Robbie's scared of compressing springs. We have a picture, we need to look for it, probably about 10 or 12 years ago, of us compressing some springs. And we were scared to death, to say the least. It was a very cheap spring compressor and we had no idea what the heck we were doing. But Josh says he has it laying around here. So I know it's definitely a classic picture. We'll see if he can find it or not. We'll definitely show it to you guys. All right, guys, now that we got the front suspension removed, the fun has begun.
We get to use the sketchiest tool in the shop, which is, of course, from our favorite Harbor Freight, stuff that we don't typically use too often.
This is the expensive one.
It is the expensive one. It's not the cheap one. I do have one of the cheap ones here. Hold on. Does that come up on camera?
Yeah. How bent it is?
Anyway, we try and use the safest method to do this. Typically when we're here, we're doing coilovers and stuff like that. Those springs, you know, don't happen too often. This thing had probably about 10 pounds of dust on it by the time I found it. But we have the stock spring already compressed right here. All I need to do is put something on the shaft of the shock and drive this nut out right there.
Alright, you can let it go. It's completely free.
Yeah, you can let it go.
Guys, it's just that easy. Got a cute little cylinder head here.
And everybody, when you're working with spring compressors, please be safe. Use your brain. Don't just not use a spring compressor pointed towards a wall. You're gonna take a finger off. Believe me, in your early 20s or whenever you're young, stuff like that, you take a finger off removing a spring. It's not gonna be a funny story when you're older. It's gonna be one you regret. So be safe with this stuff. It carries a ton of energy. That's why we were looking for that picture of me and Danny using our old spring compressor to show you what not to do. When I find it, I'll put it in one of these videos.
And then there's Robbie.
I need sleep, that, or a monster, and I'll be okay. Like,
Dude,
come on now.
Monster slushy, I told you the other day.
Yo, alright, so I found, like, on social media or, like, Facebook or something like that, that these people grab a Cold Stone, like, table, and put Monster on it, and make slushy Monster ice cream.
That's interesting.
It's very cow-like.
Yeah.
But we digress.
All right, so moving back up over here. Oh man.
The top hat in there.
Yep, top hat's in. I got it.
Pretty much now, it's just about lining it up where it's gonna sit and decompressing.
And this tool clearly said to not use impacts on it. Remember that. Okay,
Guys.
next one's ready to go in.
Never put the first one in.
Alright guys, so now that we got both coils transferred over to the new shocks, we're gonna go ahead and throw them in.
I'm gonna give the people another unedited clip.
Let's do another unedited clip. This is real-time Theory Garage style.
Can't even lay down painter's tape.
What are you doing up there, Robbie?
I don't know anymore. I'm prepping for paint.
Paint.
Robbie's gonna paint the car the same color as Brenda. Free of charge.
I don't think Domingo would be the happiest.
Look at that, one-handed. Holding the whole assembly on the bottom, threaded the nuts in on the top. Got his bolts, we'll throw some anti-seize on them.
Robbie did me the favor of already putting some anti-seize on them. McPherson strut cars are pretty much all the same. Really easy. Get everything lined up. If you don't want to go, you convince her a little bit.
She'll go.
By the way, people, if you don't know how to lay painter's tape, you pull out a long fresh. Then you lay it flat. Then you
Back
lay
to
it
useful.
flat.
Back to useful information over here. Go ahead, give it a few taps. The bolts are gonna finish walking them in.
They are splined, so
Yeah.
you have to encourage them.
Where's my gun at? I leave it over there?
This is eating into your time.
As you can see, I'm not running. Where's my 19, sir? You took it off.
I didn't take it off. It ain't here.
Never mind.
Messing up his time for his world record.
If it was world record, I'd be going a lot faster. Three ugh is about it.
What's that in duck power?
There's a calculation for that. Well, not necessarily from ugh to duck power, but from horsepower to duck power. It's pretty hilarious. I think it was like a 400 horsepower car makes like 7,000 duck power. Some physicist actually
Calculated it?
Yeah.
What I want to know is how did they calculate duck power to begin with?
They did it with like the thrust they develop under their wings. Like it was pretty crazy. It was actually really involved.
Josh is getting all scientific on us again.
Yeah, I don't really get too scientific.
Come feel this.
Now you're dropping all my lug nuts.
He's missing a few lug nuts.
Awesome.
Hey, get your POV shot of you coming in with the hand and feeling on the tape, bro. You know, you gotta get those shots in, dude.
All right, guys, so give or take a few seconds, I'm gonna go ahead and call that 4 minutes on the entire reassembly. It's not about the 4 minutes, it's when you've done this 20 times, what you know and your experience saves you a lot of time and a lot of frustration.
Let me tell you, I've probably done coilovers on like 6 different cobalts, at least.
And there's probably about, what, 20 running cobalts left? The rest are
that bad,
the
okay?
rest are in a graveyard somewhere. Anyways, Robbie was tasked with making us a little whiteboard here. It's blue in our case, but so we can put a to-do list, a checklist.
If his one task was wasted material, he accomplished it. Alright guys, so like Danny said, we went ahead and finished up all the struts. Not too bad on time. Believe it or not, filming does add quite a bit of a process to every single job we do here. When did we start? Like an hour and 10 minutes or something like that? We can get the car up and everything. So there's a quick little video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll have more content as soon as we get those piston rings from Total Seal. And
If any of you have any cobalts, unfortunately, we're very familiar with them. So, you guys need any work done, any tuning, Josh is the man for that. And let us know. He's very familiar with these, what can I say on camera? With these smaller GM vehicles.
I think what Danny really wanted to say there in his true feelings was an abomination. But we'll go with small GM vehicle. Anyway, like I said, we're waiting on those piston rings. In the downtime, we're probably going to go ahead and paint the block already, just to get that done. We have to file and fit all the rings again, which is fantastic. I know this guy's looking forward to it.
That was a lot of fun.
But other than that, we're going to go ahead and call it a day here. We'll catch you guys next time.